Devor Mahasa agus for Gedfalter go in the Ushna go Croke Canuck for the 2025 GAA Champion 15 Awards. Curgi Falter Moore and Ishriv, your host for the evening, Damien Lawler.
Uachtarán a cóide fáilte romh chuigíthe starúil anseo I mbaillion na gluichí Gaeilgeacha Páirc an Croke. A nocht tá ás orn céiliúra a dhéanamh arís Lory, Lory Meagher, Nickey Rackard, Christy Ring, Joe McDonagh agus an Tailteann fresh. Good evening everybody. Welcome to a historic night here at the home of Gaelic Games in Croke Park. Tonight we are delighted to once again celebrate the players of the Lory Meagher, Nickey Rackard, Christy Ring, Joe McDonagh and Tailteann Cup. Over the next hour or so, we will honour each individual selected for the teams, and we'll also announce the Player of the Year from each competition as well. But first, before we get down to formalities, please join me in welcoming the CEO of the Gaelic Players Association, former Mayo footballer, Mr. Tom Parsons.
I worked on Common Lucas Gale, a Corja Gale, agus a Corja Fad, Gurmalgat. President, distinguished guests and friends, it's a real honour to be here tonight to celebrate the very heartbeat of our games, our players. And to those joining us online and watching from home, thank you for tuning in to celebrate the people who make Gaelic games what they are, real, raw and remarkable. Tonight we honour excellence, not just in what is won, but in how it's earned. We honour character, resilience and the quiet, relentless leadership shown week after week in every corner of this island. The Tailteann Cup, the McDonagh, Ring, Rackard and Meagher Cups remind us that greatness isn't confined to one stadium or one county. It's alive in every parish, every dressing room and every heart that beats for Gaelic games. As someone who's been lucky enough to play this game, I know how fleeting these moments are. Nights like this are rare, they come and go in a heartbeat. So to every player, every partner, every family member here, look around you, take it in, enjoy it, you've earned it. Behind every medal there's a story of early mornings, long drives, muddy boots and quiet support from family members, teammates and your clubs. They lift you up when the body is tired and when the spirit is tested, and tonight we lift them up too. Someone once said to me, it's not the big days that shape us, it's the small ones that nobody sees. That's what defines our players, the unseen effort, the quiet consistency, the drive to always get better. Sport has the power to change the world. It speaks to a youth in a language that they truly understand. You embody that power because you inspire young boys and girls to dream, to train, and to believe that effort and attitude and commitment can overcome anything. As CEO of the Gaelic Players Association, I'm proud to serve your collective voice, the voice of players who balance work, study, life, while giving their all to their national games, to your clubs and your counties. And tonight, I'd like to thank President Jarlath Burns and the Director General Tom Ryan for their partnership and collaboration with the GPA and for sharing in these awards. When we work together, we show the best about our association, unity, respect and shared commitment to the people who give everything to these games. It's also important that the GPA says this clearly. Thank you to the players for the sacrifices that you make, the standards that you set and the inspiration that you provide. We're proud of what makes our games special and the players' commitment and that amateur spirit, but also to ensure that every player feels valued and supported is so important. And with the GAA's backing, the GPA helps players succeed on and off the field, because when players thrive, Gaelic games thrive. There's a moment that every player remembers, and it's not always a score or a cup or an all-star, but sometimes it's a quiet second. Maybe it's standing in the tunnel with your heart racing. Maybe it's standing still to the national anthem. Maybe it's hearing your name over the loudspeaker, or maybe it's looking into the crowd and finding your mother's eyes, proud worried and full of love. That's the heartbeat of Gaelic games. That's what we play for. Not for the fame, the headlines, but for the connection, the identity, and for the feeling that for one brief moment, you're part of something far bigger and greater than yourself. To all the award winners here tonight, be proud of yourself, be proud of your family and your teammates. You've left your mark on your counties and your clubs, your communities, and our game. You've shown us what resilience looks like and what it means to be the very best that you can be. Gura Malgat Galir.
Gura Malgat Tom. Agus an isha cordja Currigi Fáilte Rih Uachtarán Cumann Luachlas Gael, Jarlath Burns.
Bhí nuaisle a ihe speisialta agus a cháirde go léir. Is cúismhór achas dom a bheith ar láthair ag an bhronnaí seo an acht. A thug an aitheantas do thar imróí ar an gascí móra ar an pharc imartha imléana lena gondaithe. Is iontach go bhfuil óchaid den cineal seo agin leis na gascí sin a aithins. Ba bhfuil go garges a ggóil a gach duine a mé gradam am ronú orthú an acht. Thugwargad éachtaí ar an pharc an irid sásamh do dhaoine fud fad na tíre imléana agus níl áras ar bith faoi go bhfuil na gradam seo tilse go maiththugah. Bí cinse gur cúisbróid na gradam seo ní amháin díobhse a cháirde ach do bhar dealaí, do bhar cháirde, do bhar go imróí, do bhar globanna agus do go leor daoine eile fosta. Agus bhailam sa chumaid an acht, ma iarmhaithe sa ggóil leis an agrithóir atá agin an acht, Donal ó Maolmhíthe atá tíofaíar den ihe seo an acht. It is my great privilege to welcome everyone here to Croke Park for this very special gathering. Back in January and February, when heavy pitches crackled under a crisp frost, and players could see their breath and sweat puff and cloud above them on moonlit nights, there was no talk about a night like this. At the start of the season, there is a burning hope that warms you, and a dream and a desire that determination in Croke Park will be our goal. A chance to play on that big stage, and then maybe go one better and climb the steps of the Hogan stand in triumph. But being here in Croke Park as an award-winning player would have been an alien or intrusive thought at that early stage of 2025. Our games are team games, where the collective will is bent towards a common goal and is our motivation. However, that is exactly why an occasion like tonight is so special. Because here tonight in Croke Park, we have a chance to salute and acknowledge the outstanding hurlers and footballers who went above and beyond in their pursuit of excellence and service to their county across the McDonagh, Ring, Rackard and Meagher Cups in hurling and the Tailteann Cup in football. One of the greatest love stories in all of Irish mythology is that of Diarmuid and Grania, a tale set more than 1,000 years ago when a beautiful young girl fell deeply in love with a boy she saw playing hurling. It has been written that when the wind blew the hair back from his face, that Grania was smitten by Diarmuid. Wasn't Diarmuid blessed that he didn't have to wear a helmet and his good looks could shine through? But while health and safety has evolved, thankfully, since those times, what still roots us into the soil of this land is the ability of hurling and its hurlers to store something in us, a visceral passion and graw, and an admiration and respect. The people after whom the McDonagh, Ring, Rackard and Meagher Cups are named were hurlers who devoted their lives to the game and to the spreading of its gospel. It was arguably the greatest of them all, Christy Ring, who, when asked about the great success he had enjoyed, parried that phrase with a prophecy. Let no one say the best hurlers belong to the past, he said. They are with us now, and better yet to come, he said. After the latest summer of hurling we have seen at every level, we can honestly say that Christy Ring was right, and that you, the award winners before us, are a part of that prophecy which has been fulfilled, and which continues to unfold as hurling soars to new heights. Sustaining this is like working on a masterpiece that will never be finished. That is the challenge inherited by everyone in the GAA, to ensure hurling never again darkens death's door. It is also why one of my proudest moments as Uachtaran was seeing 45 new hurling clubs spring up this year and take their first steps in reviving the games in their communities, one of them my own, Silverbridge. Another source of pride for all of us was the success that was our football year and the positive impact of the new football rules. In its 4th year in the calendar, the Tailteann Cup was a big part of this success story. You know championship football when you see it, and it was there in abundance as teams from every corner of Ireland launched their bids and titanic struggles followed, with the new rules rewarding skills and scoring ability like never before. At the start of the Tailteann Cup, Kildare would have been well fancied to win the title, but they know better than anyone how difficult a job it was to climb that mountain. This was no coronation. It was a title that had to be fought for and won the hard way. The award-winning footballers here were central to that drama. I am delighted at having seen the plethora of good championship games and the pathway for progress that exists in our hurling championship, that we now have a similar roadmap in football. We have seen it improve teams year on year, and it will continue to do so. So I want to congratulate all of the players on your awards. I also want to thank the team behind them, the families, partners, friends, teachers and club and county coaches who have each contributed to help them be the best that they can be and allow us to enjoy the results of their efforts. And in doing so, I also welcome Tom Parsons here tonight and thank him and the GPA for the wonderful job representing our hurlers that they do. Dónach agus Dálach. Gura maith agat, Tom. Every hurler and footballer here is an ambassador for the thousands like them who do so much for the promotion of our games. Arish Janam Kogarges Livilig, Gwynigi Ard Tachnav as Okaij Nahiha and Ocht. Gura maith agah.
Gaurav Mila Malgut, Uachtaran. Now, time to announce our first team of the year. This team comprised of players from the Lory Meagher, Nickey, Rackard and Christy Ring Cup competitions. But first of all, let's look back on a great season.
You know, you're a Gossoon and you're watching the Kilkennys and even Offaly's, you know, going back to the 90s when I was small watching them, you know. You always wanted to get there.
A lot of my family, a lot of my friends, even some made the trip from London for the game. I had a brother home from Perth, happened to be my father's 60th birthday weekend, so yeah, there was a lot of things came together for me personally on the weekend, and obviously we got a brilliant game of hurling, and we were just delighted to come out the other side of it, and just really, really special memories, something I'll never forget.
As a father, to see my son run out to the Croke Park and taking part in the team photo, named at number 11, I was very proud, very emotional. When David went to America first, I felt lost because I used to love watching David playing hurling back home in Galway, and next thing he's gone out to America, and I couldn't see the matches. But in the last couple of years, I've started seeing the matches on YouTube, and it's been very enjoyable, you know. David always loved hurling, and the fact that he immigrated to New York, you know, and a lot of the fellas that's on that team have immigrated, you know, it's lovely that they can keep up the culture. There's this great sense of community out there. They make great friendships, and he's very proud of it, you know, and I'm very proud of him.
I'm from Meagher, Rackard, one of the oldest clubs in the country. They contested the first All-Ireland ever against Thurles, played in Bor. Privileged to be involved in that club, to be honest. But my father is a proud Roscommon man. I'm down there 5 years and I've loved it down there, you know. They're a great bunch of lads, do you know what I mean? It's been a fantastic journey. It took us a while to get going, in the championship, but, you know, slowly and gradually we found our way. You come down to the last round, then we had to beat Loud. We knew we had to beat Loud going up there, and we did, you know, we were 5 points down at half time, but the resilience in the group really shone through in that second half, you know, to win that game. And like I said, once we got back to Croke Park, you know, we never doubted ourselves within the group.
My dad obviously played for Waterford for 14 years. Damien Byrne, a lot of people call him Bugsy in the hurling circles. He played for Waterford 83, mid-80s to 1997. He's a massive hurling name around the Waterford circles. Obviously was massive for us growing up, the encouragement, the advice. When results needed to go our way in the past, they didn't, and we got 1 or 2 in a row this year, and it made such a difference to us, you know.
Not long into the game, he caught a great ball, which set up a goal for New York, and from there on, then took hold, like, you know. I always felt that they could win the match, like, you know.
Oh, Cadé Marcool! Sean Canning! Le Hurricane Stocks and Anga can saw a bark and Croke.
They were all great goals. We were delighted to get them. Just delighted to get them.
Eglounden Cool and Cancer Chasna, August Creek Nasaline Tonic, David Devine.
You're delighted we've got 115 on the board, brilliant. Obviously, as you said, conceded 112 is not ideal in a half of hurling, but it was quite an open game.
I was very nervous when he was taking the penalty.
Bools a Stocks and Anga Cagasan Cahu Cool and Ishiko.
It was a well taken penalty. I wanted the game to be over as quick as possible. I wanted to celebrate this moment.
And Deshag Ross come on and Claire Vuk and Tasha Mehstock. August Ericsson son Emma Haran Chasnon. Egg Ross come on, August Egg Brendan Mulroy.
You know, unpredictable, defiant. They're probably the two words I use to describe that group of boys that are there at the minute. Like, you know, just unbelievable, you know.
Really had to win your ball. That was the way the game has been played from both sides, I think. And I think the last 15 minutes in other years gone by, there's no way we would have got out the gap with the win. But we did muck in. There was people put their hands up to say, you know, we're finishing strong here. But the full-time whistle was just unreal. It was a brilliant feeling.
Completely wrote off, came up here and did the business in the last puck of the game, you could say, and just, you know, that's Roscommon hurling.
Sean Day was the man of the match in the final. It was probably one of the proudest moments of my life.
August and Ishikorja, we will now announce the winners of the Ring, Rackard and Meagher Team of the Year, the Champions 15. Starting with number 1 jersey, Iver Hain on Coolborough. Please welcome to the stage from Roscommon, Enda Lawless.
The Roscommon goalkeepers are rock-solid presence throughout their Nickey Rackard Cup campaign. He conceded just 2 goals in 6 games and he made several excellent saves in the final. A pivotal player for Roscommon's 2025 success, Corgordicus to Enda.
Well done, Enda. Next we move to the full back line, where we've got representatives from the Christy Ring Cup and the Nickey Rackard Cup as well. Please put your hands together for the back three, Roscommon's Mark Ward, London's Conor Byrne, and representing Mayo, Oisin Greeley.
Athlete clubman Mark Ward played a key part in the Roscommon defence. Game after game, the cornerback displayed composure and the ability to marquee opposition players. London defender Conor Byrne has made his first appearance on the Champion 15 Team of the Year. The powerful Kilburn Galesman was solid at full-back throughout their successful Christy Ring Cup campaign. Touring clubman Oisin Greeley had an outstanding year for Mayo. His strength and ability to win possession made him a central figure on the edge of the square.
That's our full back line. Now to the half-back line, featuring players from the Christy Ring Cup and the Nickey Rackard Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage London's Enda Egan, Roscommon's Conor Cosgrove, and Derry's Rory O'Menon.
A formidable half-back line, starting with London's Enda Egan. His accurate long-range striking made him an important addition for the Christy Ring Cup champions. At the heart of Roscommon's superb defence was Conor Cosgrove. The Ardrahan clubman and joint captain provided leadership and consistency. And a first for Derry's rising star, Rory O'Menon. The Slough-Meath clubman really announced himself this year, and at just 21 years old, he is certainly one to watch for the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our half-back line. Enda, congratulations to you, all the way from Galway. I watched you play a Celtic Challenge with Galway. Can you just tell us about your journey over the seas?
Well, starting off with Galway obviously was a privilege. And then it came to the stage where I just said, needed a new move. We moved to London. And the opportunity came about to play with London, and thankfully ended up here. Never thought that would be the situation, but I'm not complaining now.
Conor is end of saying it's not a bad place to be. You know, you played Fitzgibbon Cup around the ATU, I think, and when you arrived over to London, did you find a home from a home over there?
Well, I'm with Roscommon now, sorry. So, yeah.
Did you find a home from home in Roscommon?
I did actually, yeah, I did, to be fair.
You're vice captain as well this year, are you captain, joint captain?
Conor Muller, yeah. No, in fairness, like, come from Galway as well, like, the lads have been very good to me and they welcome me and I've got on great with them now the last few years, so, yeah.
Does it take a while to settle in?
No, not really. Like, as I said, the lads have been so good and, like, they kind of rode in behind me and stuff and got on great with them all off the field as well, so that helped.
Yeah, powerful display as a centre-back. And Rory, I don't think you could escape hurling or GAA with your background. Your parents, both proficient hurlers and camogie players as well. How has the last couple of years been from the under-20 team right through to now?
I suppose you've seen big progress. I was part of a Celtic Challenge team that won an All-Ireland, and then the under-20s won the All-Ireland B in Croke Park, and then there's a good few men from that team coming on and playing Derry Senior, so if you can keep getting boys through, then hopefully, you know, you'll go to the next level. You sort of seen what Kildare done there. Won the Christy Ring, and now they've just won the Joe McDonagh and they're playing Liam McCarthy, so I suppose that gives you a bit of belief that it's doable.
Well, you're a young man, but you've achieved an awful lot so far. So Rory, Conor and Enda, that's our half-back line on the Champions 15, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it's time to honour the two men playing in the middle of the field. Ivra Hucht, having impressed for Mayo in the Nickey Rackard Cup, is Daniel Huan. And our second representative from Derry this evening, following on from Rory, it's Eamon Conway, ladies and gentlemen.
Daniel Huan was Mayo's engine in the middle third of the pitch, covering huge ground whilst finishing the season with 9 points from play and 5 matches. Ballinascreen clubman Eamon Conway was the force in midfield for the Oakleaf County, gathering up possession and contributing 15 vital points from play over the course of the season.
That's our midfield pairing, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel, a prominent Turin and Mayo midfielder. Eamon was kept going with Ballinascreen all last year. He got 1-7 then in the Ulster Junior Hurling Final. That's our midfield pairing. Okay. Move on now to the half-forward line, which includes our two Lory Meagher awardees. Please give it up for Cavan's Liam O'Brien, London Sean Glynn, and representing New York's David Mangan, it's his father Joseph.
Yes, much deserved recognition for Liam O'Brien of East Cavan Gales. He was a live wire in the Cavan attack, finishing with a remarkable personal tally of 149. Sean Glynn is named as centre half forward. The London captain led by example and finishes the season with 217 to his name. And David Mangan completes the line. The Galway native, now residing in New York, led the charge in both the semi-final and final this year, hitting 118 over the course of both games.
Thanks, Jerry. From Waterford, Liam O'Brien, representing Cavan, Sean Glynn from London, a Clare native, and David Mangan then, as we just heard as well. So, finally, the full forward line of the 2025 Champion 15 team from the Nickey Rackard Cup. Please welcome Roscommon's Sean Canning and Mayo's Liam Lavin. And then in at full forward, after impressing for Wicklow in the Christy Ring Cup, Padraig Doyle, ladies and gentlemen.
A powerful attack in this year's Champion 15 team. Sean Canning was the go-to man up front for the Rossies. He contributed an impressive tally of 6-5 from play over the course of 4 matches. Padraig Doyle was a nightmare for opposition defences. The Bray Emmett's clubman finished with a superb personal tally of 424. And finally, Liam Lavin lit up the attack for Mayo hurlers with 23 points from play in a standout campaign. Masha Throne.
Well done, lads. Congrats on all your service. That concludes our first team of the evening, so we'll take a quick recap on the winners. The Lory Meagher Cup is represented with 2 players on the team. There are 7 players who featured in the Nickey Rackard Cup this season. And then the Christy Ring Cup boasts 6 winners in the final side. Congratulations again to all of our winners.
Okay, time now to switch our focus up to the Joe McDonagh Cup. What another great year it was with a thrilling final. Let's take a look back now on the season that was.
Still don't really believe in myself, although we have taken a couple of weeks and months to process it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, whatever, it's in October now and I'm still running into people I haven't seen in a few months and they're congratulating me, and then I'm remembering the whole event again, and it brings back good memories anyway.
Reflecting on Carlo's season, overall it was decent enough, I suppose. The league was quite positive. We had some big wins in there against Waterford and that, so it was very positive going into Joe McDonagh then. Obviously very disappointed not to get to a final, and obviously our main objective was to win the Joe McDonagh, and we did fail on that, so that was obviously a big disappointment at the end of it, and just the manner, I suppose, of how things panned out for us as well with the scoring difference, and so the last minute goal and the way it just finished for us. But look, that sport, unfortunately, some days they go for you, some days they don't go for you.
Dispossessed well by Cian Boran, and Boran sends Kildare back into the attack once again.
The father put a hurl to our hands like when we were 2 or 3 down early, like, and then yeah, we had family down in Comer, so we've cousins playing with Comer as well. Any family events, anything like that, there would have been hurls along the way. Any reason to bring the hurls in the boot, like, we would have brought them.
Closer to home then, I think maybe every day before primary school we'd always have our 2v2s outside, a bit of warm up before the school started, and that kind of really drove the love for the game. What really worked for us this year was that we could have been possibly underestimated by maybe a couple of teams coming into the championship.
All the way down, intended for Ben Conroy. Instead, winning it there is Rian Boran.
We did have an inner belief amongst ourselves that, you know, we felt that we'd good hurlers in the team and who were well capable.
Going into the last 2 games, you knew if you bet Westmeath and bet Laois we'd be in a joint on a final, and yeah, we were literally 10 seconds away from doing that, and then heartbreak. But yeah, that's just the way it goes. We were by far the better team that day, and we just couldn't put away the chances and let them in the game. And sure, look, that's just how it goes then. We done that at least 2 years ago in Carlow. We got the goal to knock them out and pull us through, so it's just the way it goes.
Walking behind the Tailteann band was a huge experience. It was indescribable, you know, leading the team out there.
Spools loose to Colin McCabe, and McCabe, great save. Here's a goal chance. Oh, another one.
It was unbelievable. I just remember being like nearly tipping my hat to him. Like, even as much as you're trying to win the game, like, it was just unbelievable. Yeah. Getting straight up after making one save, and then another shot from Jack Sheridan, which usually isn't that easy to save.
Yeah, I can still remember seeing videos of it for weeks after, saying it was top class. When you see track drivers warming up, getting ready to come on, you're thinking, here comes an engine now. Here comes a lad that's going to do something for the team. He's going to shake it up a bit. He's going to drive at these lads, because he does love putting the shoulder down now and putting the ball on the hurl.
And the puck out again goes awry. Dermot Conway that time in trouble. Here's a chance, saved by the goalkeeper once more. Brilliantly done, and it's put in the back of the net, but the man has only just come on. Jack Travers. GAA President Charlotte Burns presenting the Joe McDonagh Cup. Kildare are the winners. Rian Boran the captain.
The feeling was undescribable.
You nearly didn't know what to do. Like, you just see people kissing the trophy and throwing them up in the air. Like, it was just, you let a bit of something out anyway, and you just roar or whatever. But it was, yeah, it was unbelievable. It was class.
Class, and a class save as well. So we'll now announce the Joe McDonagh Cup Team of the Year, and we'll once again invite the recipients onto the stage to meet Tom and Jarlath. Taking the number 1 jersey, it's no surprise after seeing that save from the Clough-Ballycollig club in County Laois. It's young Cathal Dunn.
The posts all year for Laois, making a series of brilliant saves, especially in the Joe McDonagh Cup final itself, when he somehow stopped what seemed a certain goal from Jack Sheridan. Mahu Cathal.
Well done, Cathal. Unbelievable display in goals this year, and in front of Cahill in the Team of the Year. He's joined by Kildare players Ryan Boren and Simon Lacey and Carlow man Paul Doyle, ladies and gentlemen.
St Mullins clubman Paul Doyle is a hugely experienced defender. Calm under pressure and his ability to read the game means he's one of the most consistent players. Beside him is Ryan Bourne, who is adding to his previous 3 Champion 15 awards. The winning captain for 2025, he was crucial to Kildare's success. Completing the line is Simon Lacey of Naas, a classy defender who also has the skill to bring the ball out of defence and launch attacks.
That's our full back line, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Doyle, Ryan Boren and Simon Lacey, who can play in any line of the field in fairness to him. We move now to the half back line with Laois and Kildare representation once again strong in the form of Podge Delaney, Keane Boren and Dermot Conway, ladies and gentlemen.
Podge Delaney was a central figure again this year for Laois, and the Harpsman is named in this team for consecutive years. The second award of the night for the Boren family, Keane has joined his brother Ryan on this year's Team of the Year. Keane perhaps gave his best performance of the year in the final. Completing the line, the powerful Dermot Conway, often tasked with marking the opposition star forward. No player proved too much for the Clough-Ballacalla man and is worthy of his second successive award.
Well done, lads. A fairly talented half-back line. We're now at midfield for the 2025 Joe McDonagh Cup Team of the Year, and it's a Kildare pairing, James Burke and Cahill McCabe, number 8 and 9.
James Burke was a huge offensive threat for Kildare from the middle third of the field. The previous 2-time champion 15 awardee scored 113 from play and set up many scores for his teammates. Alongside him is his county teammate Cahill McCabe, who produced a series of dynamic midfield displays and proved ever accurate with his shooting.
That's our midfield pairing, ladies and gentlemen. We wish James every recovery with his ACL recuperation as well, and congratulate Cahill on a Trojan year at club and inter-county level as well. He's been a minute standout performer. Just 2 lines remaining now in the Joe McDonagh Cup Team of the Year. We move to the half-forward line, and it features a Laois stalwart in Paddy Purcell, ladies and gentlemen, alongside his teammate and county mate Mossy Keys, and from Kildare, Maynooth's David Coulter, ladies and gentlemen.
Paddy Purcell is one of the most influential forwards in the country and was superb again this year for Laois. He finished with a tally of 143 in 5 matches, and tonight adds to his 2024 Team of the Year award. His fellow county man Tomas Keys takes the number 11 spot. He racked up an exceptional personal tally of 149. Finally, David Coulter takes the final position on the half-forward line. The top scorer of this year's Joe McDonagh Cup with 2 goals and 54 points. His free-taking ability proved crucial to Kildare's 2025 success.
Time to grill you now, PM. Just your reflections on the year so far.
Yeah, sure, look, it was a difficult year, I suppose, for Laois. After losing 2 finals in a row, look, we were delighted to get back to Croke Park after disappointment last year, but to lose it again, I suppose, was devastating. So.
And 2 years is tough, but your own reflections on the year, Mas?
Yeah, overall disappointing, but you have to come back next year and train hard and work hard, same as this year, so hopefully get by.
Just a word on this man here, I know you've had a stellar year, but the effort he's put in over the last decade or so, it has to be inspiration to any hurler in the county.
Yeah, if you ask anyone around, everyone knows Paddy Purcell, and he's a big role model for us young lads as well in Laois, so hopefully he stays another year, please God.
You going to stay another year, Paddy?
We'll see in a few months.
Chalk it down, ladies and gentlemen, chalk it down. David, congratulations to you. Again, like Rory from Derry, you couldn't escape the game of hurling anyway. It's steeped in your family, your dad and your uncle Seamus as well. What was the most enjoyable part of the year?
I suppose you thought you'd have the words for the win at the end of the year, but even a few months later, I still can't really describe it. But I suppose probably the bond in the group. We really kind of got together this year. We had a good group between us, and I suppose it turned out to be good, what we ended up doing on the hurling pitch as well.
Just the amount of work going into striking and free taking, is it really, really strenuous behind the scenes to get the level of accuracy that you have?
No, definitely not. I'd say it's more just concentration and practicing at it, that's all. I wouldn't be overthinking it anyway, so I suppose just a lot of easy things that you'd be doing over and over again, exactly.
Okay, David, congratulations. Mossy, Paddy, well done to you lads as well, and we'll see you next year, Paddy. Yeah, 3 class players, and now to the final 3 players on the 2025 Joe McDonagh Cup team. Our full forward line features Carlo's Mouse Kavanagh and Chris Nolan, with Kildare's Jack Sheridan joining them in the middle. That's our full forward line, ladies and gentlemen.
A third Joe McDonagh Award for St Mullins, Martin Kavanagh. He is one of the most lethal finishers in the game and ended this year with scoring 443. A previous Champion 15 awardee, Jack Sheridan, was instrumental in Kildare's 2025 success. He saved his best performance for the final when he tallied up 1-4 from play against Laois. And the last spot on this year's team goes to Chris Nolan. The Mount Leinster Rangers clubman picks up his 5th Joe McDonagh Team of the Year award. Yes, his 5th award, scoring 7-12 from play. Chris is a worthy recipient of the number 15 position.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to conclude that team, just a word on Mouse Kavanagh, Marty's achievements with his county, because only the likes of Patrick Horgan, Eddie Kerr, TJ Reid, Henry Shefflin, Shane Dooley and Joe Canning have got more than him nearly in championship history. In competitive senior appearances, 139, he scored 43 goals and 896 points, and I think that deserves a bit of recognition tonight. Okay, folks, well done to Mouse and well done to all the guys. That concludes our 2025 Joe McDonagh Cup Team of the Year. 7 players from Kildare, the champions, 5 representatives from Laois, 3 from Carlow. Congratulations to every one of you. Well done, lads. Now, our final team to honour this evening is the 2025 Tailteann Cup Team of the Year. Now in its 3rd season, once more this competition did not disappoint.
At the start of the year we would have had a couple of different goals. Promotion from Division 3 would have been first on the list. Once we got that, it kind of opened up into the next stage, into the Leinster campaign, which we would have had high ambitions to get into a Leinster final and competing in that, and obviously didn't work out the way we wanted it to, but back to the drawing board and into the Tailteann Cup, and we just kind of set our stall out early that we were going to win it, and that was what we wanted to do, and thankfully we achieved our goal.
Danny Neville had an injury earlier on in the year, but looks back to full fitness, shakes off Malachy Stone, he might be in. Neville looking for the goal! Wonderful finish, magnificent.
After playing for 14 years, I suppose it was probably one of the most enjoyable seasons. Got up to Croke Park 3 times through the year. Unfortunately, came up short in the Tailteann Cup final, but I think if you asked the group at the start of the year, we'd have definitely taken your hand off at that. It was great to get promotion, I suppose, after going down to Division 4 and then to get a good run in the Tailteann Cup. It was definitely it was a good season to bow out, and I kind of knew all along it was my last season as well, so I suppose I enjoyed the whole process as it was ongoing. In July 24, I was fairly bedbound after tearing 2 tendons off the bone of the hamstring. So to fast forward 12 months' time to be in a national final representing my county and club, like it was a real turnaround in events, and I know we came up short in the final, but it was a much better place to be than where I was 12 months prior to that.
Here's a chance. Oh, James McGrath.
Once we got out of the group, then we kind of regrouped again and said, right, like this is the plan now going forward, and we've 3 more games to go, 3 knockout games, so we'll just take them one by one, but hopefully we'll be there at the end of the year, and we were.
I suppose we got off to a good start in the group. 1 or 3 games topped the group, and I think that made a massive difference, getting the extra week off. Then we got back up and got Wicklow.
The effort from Mark McCarthy falls short. Jackson has lost it. It's a goal.
We knew the threat they would bring, and knew well they'd go good forwards and dangerous runners from deep.
Peter Nash, nice turn, quick hands, laying it off. Great save, brilliant by Keane Burke. Still danger, back in the net. Limerick get the goal.
just a case of trying to get hands on ball again and back to kind of working our game.
Going for the long ball. Nice combination up front. The gap has opened up. Here comes the shot. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Alex Byrne.
Once we had the ball, everyone on the field had license to attack and get involved and express themselves and show off their skills.
In the centre, calling for it is Ian Corbett. Stepping inside that 40-metre line, almost on the edge of the D with the left boot. And the umpires are happy enough to raise the white flag.
It was a brilliant finish for the neutrals, maybe not so for ourselves.
They're queuing up. Here comes the shot. Saved. Back outside. And it's gone over the bar.
I suppose in hindsight, we had enough chances throughout the game, like, to equalise or get ahead.
Probably first emotion is relieved, and then the joy kind of kicks in, and being so proud to have done that for Kildare. Being named to the Champion 15 team is an honour. It's a great achievement. I always feel it's maybe not so much for myself, but people who have supported me the way up, mother and father and coaches throughout the years. It's probably something more for them. The team medal is what I ultimately wanted at the start of the year, and it's what I got. But it's recognition for the hours they've put in and bringing us around the county, and anything I ever needed, and geez, I got it in spades off my mother and father and coaches throughout the years, and put up with me for the last however many years, and they're still putting up with me. But yeah, it's more so for them, I always feel, and to have that at home on the mantelpiece, it's something that they can be really proud of.
To be included in the Champion 15 from the Tailteann Cup, it's a great honour, I suppose. When I was made aware of it, I suppose you flick back through the previous recipients of, say, the teams that have gone by in the last few years, and there's some great footballers on it, and I think it's been a great initiative by the GAA, because a lot of great players probably don't reach the levels of, say, All-Ireland semi-finals, and probably don't get the recognition. So I think this that has come along in the last few years, it shows the recognition of maybe footballers from your perceived weaker counties are more than capable of playing football at a really high level. So it's a great honour for me, my family, club, and I suppose Limerick football as well.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's our final team of the evening, the 2025 Tailteann Cup Team of the Year. And as always, we start with the goalkeeper, and the first name on the team sheet was the Limerick goalkeeper, Josh Ryan.
The Limerick goalkeeper impressed not only with his shot stopping, but he also contributed 12 points throughout the competition, notably scoring an ever-important two-pointer late on his side's semi-final win over Wicklow.
So, Josh, I'm going to ask you for just, ladies and gentlemen, before I have a quick word with Josh, just as important, 3 years ago, Josh was playing hurling for his club, Doon. He broke his tibia in 3 places, and it was feared at one stage that he might possibly lose a leg. He gave 2 weeks in Limerick Hospital, and to see him nailing 2 pointers and 45s out in that field a few months ago, I think that deserves a round of applause as well. That was not an easy journey back. I don't know how personally you did do it, but did you have many dark days along the way, Josh? And was it always worth it, putting on that Limerick jersey again?
Yeah, look, I think from the outside, when I was inside in the regional, lying on my back for 12 days, being cared for and looked after by all the nurses and staff of UHL, obviously, and then obviously the Limerick backroom team and physios and doctors really rode in behind them, showed great support, along with obviously my mum, who was bringing down dinners to the room and stuff like that, and aunts and uncles and stuff like that. So I was well looked after, obviously, but no, really tough road, plenty of blood, sweat and tears. Wasn't an easy road, but look, I'm out the right side of it now.
And to switch from maybe outfield then to the goalkeeping slot and not put on 2 or 3 stone in weight, Josh, it's a remarkable achievement all around.
I have put on the 2 or 3 stone weight. No, look, it's great to just be involved in any Limerick team or any intercounty setup. It's so difficult to get there, and when you get there and get an opportunity to wear an intercounty jersey, it's a great privilege for your club and your family. So,
just when that 2-pointer went over, you nearly had all the emotion out of you. But I suppose it's easy to be emotional, but to be practical about it, Limerick are not far away from real victory this competition. And I know you had injuries towards the latter age of the season. Is that the feeling within, Josh, that you can go a step further?
I think so. It's definitely a competition that everyone the Tailteann Cup can go after, and everyone has a great opportunity of winning it. And obviously that's our main goal now for 2026 is to get back to Croke Park 3 times. Obviously we'll set out our stall early and go after the National League, but after that then it's all eyes on the Tailteann Cup.
Well, regardless, I think you won overall anyway. Well done, Josh. Josh Ryan, Limerick, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, some story. We move now to the 3 men in the full back line of the Tailteann Cup for 2025. Kildare's Harry O'Neill, Fermanagh's Lee Cullen, and that tight man marker from Wicklow, Malachy Stone.
Harry O'Neill was a key figure in Kildare's Tailteann Cup success, with excellent displays when marking some of the most accomplished performers in the competition. At full-back is Lee Cullen, an experienced player and ever so consistent in defence. And completing the line, one of Wicklow's best performers, Malachy Stone, who made a significant contribution, even getting his name on the score sheet on a couple of occasions.
Well done, Harry. Well done, Lee, and well done, Malachy. We move on now to jerseys. Ever Cuig, Shea, August Shocked, and our half-back line in the Tailteann Cup Team of the Year. James McGrath from Kildare, the great Ian Corbett from Limerick, and Sam McCartan from County Westmeath.
An excellent campaign for James McGrath sees him recognised in the Tailteann Cup Team of the Year. The Kildare man came up with a crucial goal in Kildare's semi-final win over Fermanagh. Ian Corbett at centre-back was a significant influence for Limerick throughout the competition. After 14 years in the green and white, 2025 marked his final season. We wish him every success for the future. And Sam McCartan completes the half-back line, adding to his Tailteann Cup Team of the Year award from 2022. The Westmeath man once again emerging as a key performer whilst finishing with an impressive personal tally of 219.
Well done, lads, and congratulations, Ian, on a great career. 14 years with your county. And we move now to the middle of the park, where another stalwart has given 14 years for his county. That's Dean Healy from Wicklow, and a fellow stalwart beside him from County Kildare. It's a ties Kevin Feely, ladies and gentlemen.
Two all-rounders pick up the awards at centre field and are thoroughly deserving winners. Dean continues to deliver for the Garden County, scoring 115 in the 2025 campaign. He is joined by the Tailteann Cup winning captain Kevin Feely, always leading by example and a powerhouse around the middle third. He was a key part of the Lily Whites' 2025 success.
Well done, lads. Well done, Dean. Well done, Kevin. Dean might give it another year as well. Kevin has a county final on Sunday, so they're all very, very busy. To the penultimate line of our Tailteann Cup team now from Limerick, James Norton and Danny Neville. And then taking the number 11 position for 2025 is Alex Byrne from Kildare. And we'd ask Brian Flanagan to come up for Alex, who can't be with us tonight.
A formidable half-forward line. James Norton was a key figure in the Limerick attack and an accurate finisher, racking up 31 points throughout the campaign. Alex Byrne was the go-to man for the Lily Whites. The Nace club man lit up the Kildare attack time and again, registering a dazzling 3:33 over the Tailteann Cup season. As unfortunately, as Damien said, he can't be here with us tonight. Finally, Danny Neville gets the nod at number 12 after an impressive season for Limerick, scoring 3 goals and 12 points.
That leads us to our final 3 players of the 2025 Tailteann Cup Team of the Year. It's our full forward line, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to a high-powered full forward line. Luke Loughlin from Westmeath, Derek Kirwan from County Kildare, and Wexford's Sean Nolan, who shot the lights out this year.
Luke Loughlin is the second Westmeath player featured in this season's team. The experienced Westmeath forward continues to impress, scoring 241 in their Tailteann Cup run. Derek Kirwan picks up his second Team of the Year award, a key player who deservedly picked up the Man of the Match award in the Tailteann Cup decider. And finally, at corner forward, wearing the number 15 jersey, Wexford's Sean Nolan. He finished the Tailteann Cup with a huge 525.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a massive congratulations to all those honoured in our 2025 Tailteann Cup Team of the Year. Let's have a quick reminder of the full team, which featured 5 players from the champions Kildare, 4 players from runners-up Limerick, 2 from Westmeath, 2 from Wicklow, and 1 each from Fermanagh and Wexford. So congratulations to the players who have featured in all of the teams tonight, truly deserving of your honours as well. And we move now to the part of the evening where we announce the recipients of the prestigious Player of the Year awards. We begin with the Player of the Year in the Lory McDonagh Cup, and Tom and Jarlath are here to greet the winner. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your Player of the Year from Cavan. It's Liam O'Brien. Congratulations, Liam. Congratulations, Liam. Delighted to get the award?
Ah, sure. Brilliant, yeah. It's for lads, the 30 lads that I train with all year. Like, it's for everyone, so. But it's brilliant to represent the lads like that.
Liam, can you just tell us about your hurling journey? Can you tell the people here who mightn't be familiar with your own story?
So I grew up in Waterford, West Waterford, playing hurling underage with Waterford all the way up. And qualified from UCD there 2 years ago and took a job in Cavan. Wasn't really expecting, kind of thought the hurling was over, like, but got recruited anyway. And honestly, it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. The joy I've had with the lads the last 2 years it's hard to put into words. So yeah, we've had a great run. It was just unfortunate we didn't get there in the end this year, but.
And Liam, you played Harty Cup and Fitzgibbon Cup. You're well used to hurling at a high level. And did you need much persuasion to go in and join the Carlow lads? And was it long before you were kind of fully on board?
The Cavan lads as well, David. No, it didn't, honestly, because Ollie Bellew, he's from Antrim himself, and he got in contact with me, and he's a great hurling man. And literally just a couple of phone calls with him, I was ready for action. Like, that was it, like, and I'm so glad I did.
Home from home?
Definitely. A second home now. Yeah, definitely.
That's our Player of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, Liam O'Brien. Well done, Liam. Now we move to the Nickey Rackard Cup. The 2025 Player of the Year goes to the Roscommon centre-back, Conor Cosgrove. Yeah, so Conor was joint captain of the Roscommon senior team along with Conor Mulroy. A driving force for the team all year, and as I mentioned earlier on stage, played Fitzgibbon Cup for ATU as well. Similar enough, Conor, like when you are making a move like that from a different county, even though it's only a neighbouring one to yourself, it does require a little bit of thought. Did you talk about it to your family and friends as well?
Yeah, to be fair, like the dad is from Roscommon, that's kind of connection there, and he was only delighted for me to get involved. Like, and I was actually living in Dublin at the time, and driving 2.5 hours home to Ardrahan was a bit tough for training. Like, so they were training at Lone, and it just worked out like that. So yeah, then once I got involved, there was no going back really. I was loving it, like, so.
Yeah, and like just in terms of the people involved in the structure, I suppose once you get familiar with people, Conor, and did you know anybody going in from colleges or anything like that? Did you know a few of the lads, or was it a complete clean sweep?
No, like, didn't know anyone. When I first actually got the call, it was a guy man that was over them, and they were in Christy Ring at the time, and it was too late in the year for the transfer to go through, so I actually missed out, unfortunately, that year. But the following year, then the new management got in contact again, and clean sweep, didn't know anyone going down, but yeah, got very close to some of the lads, made some great memories over the last couple of years, so yeah, they've been good.
Just on final day then, it was a big day for your club, Ardrahan, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had 3 lads involved in the 3 different finals, which is probably, I can't imagine it happened before. And then especially like me being joint captain, and Johnny Glynn was captain for New York as well, and we had Stephen Wheel involved for London, so yeah, definitely a rare occasion for the club, but yeah, it was great.
Good man, Conor, and if your paperwork needs to be sped up, you've got a direct line to the Uke draw now, so you're sound. That's our Player of the Year, Conor Cosgrove, ladies and gentlemen. We'll now announce the 2025 Christy Ring Player of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for London's Sean Glenn. Congratulations, Sean. Sean, congratulations. Do you want to tell us a bit about your journey?
Jeez, I'm actually half hours now for once in my life. I suppose I'm originally from Clare and I moved to London a couple of years ago, and Raji, our manager, who's actually here tonight, was the one that kind of got me on the boat with St. Gabriel's and said, get involved with London. And look, I said, give it a go, and it kind of worked from there. We got involved, and then we kind of started building a squad and kind of kept going. The last couple of years have been tough. We've had near misses, like Derry probably put us out of the championship a couple of times there in the last couple of years, and whatever come over us this year, we said we'd just go for it and see how we get on.
Yeah, you're talking about Neil Rogers from Burren Offaly, and he's seen quite a lot in the county level. He brought in Anthony Nash as selector, and a lot of know-how there too, Sean, in fairness.
Unbelievable. Like, Raji himself played for Offaly underage and through the years and stuff, and even with his club in Burr, unbelievable man. Outrageous, his knowledge and everything behind the scenes and everything like that. And yeah, Anthony, another good addition this year, and it just whatever came over us this year, we just decided that we've been knocking at the door and we never actually had the minerals to get through the door, and this year we finally got through, and look, it's proved worthy, hasn't it, in the end?
And in fairness, apart from the result, the final went well for you. It's never a given, but were you nervous going into it?
There's a certain demeanour when you go into a final. Like, obviously, you haven't been there, haven't played in Croke Park before, and you're just trying to calm the boys down. Even myself, never been there before or anything, but it's just actually for once in our lives we were all very calm and collective going into it. We knew we had done the work, we knew we were prepared, we knew we were ready for the battle that was ahead of us, but we were just also conscious that we wanted to perform. We wanted to actually express ourselves on the big day, and I think we went in at half time after hitting 115 and one wide. That's not a bad return for 30 minutes of hurling, 35 minutes of hurling.
No, and you got 11 points on the day, and you are the player of the year. Well done to you, Sean. Congratulations. Well done, Sean. All the way from Killanena and County Clare. Time now to find out who's the recipient of the Joe McDonagh Player of the Year for 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, it's no massive shock. Please welcome to the stage Ivor Shea, Kildare's Cian Boran. Congratulations, Cian. Another great occasion for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Seem to be winning a lot now in the last few months.
Cian was part of the Naas team that won the county senior final against Maynooth last weekend as well. But it's great to have the trophies coming, Cian, but there's a lot of work gone into it over the last 10, 15 years in Kildare and in your own club in Naas as well.
Yeah, I won't go naming lads out now because I probably forget a lot now, but there's lads doing work in the background over the last few years, and we're only seeing the results now, but there's been very hard work gone in, and yeah, we're on the map a bit. So.
Just the last question for you. I know you started off with Kildare in the forwards. I think you were only about 18 and you played for Naas CBS the day before, but from your vantage point at centre back, to see the attack function the way it did in the second half of that final, I know you've got great coaches there, but it must have been unbelievably satisfying to see the efficiency of the attack.
Yeah, definitely. I know, in fairness to the lads, they're giving us a run around and training and stuff, so we're kind of used to the speed and stuff that they bring. But yeah, look, there's no surprise like our forwards, and then yeah.
In other words, get that microphone off my face. Cian Boran, ladies and gentlemen. In fairness to Keane, you could put him anywhere on the pitch and he'll do a job for you, as all his family members would as well. Now, to our final award of the evening, Aguina Ushla. It's the 2025 Tailteann Cup Player of the Year. It's Kildare's Alex Byrne, ladies and gentlemen. Now, unfortunately, Alex can't be with us this evening, but he is represented by the Kildare Senior Football Manager, Brian Flanagan. So, Brian, you might accept the award. So, Brian is accepting the award for our Player of the Year. Alex got 1-2 in the final. He got 1-5 against Westmeath and Leinster. He got 12 points against Leitrim in the opening round. He was Kildare Senior Club Footballer of the Year for 2023. He got a wonder goal against Coola in last year's campaign. He got a county final against Kevin Feely on Sunday as well. And that is the great Alex Byrne. And Brian, I might ask you for a quick word on Alex's behalf, if you don't mind. He was a stalwart. Congratulations on a great year, but he was a stalwart all the way through, as were so many of your players.
He was, yeah, and a deserving winner of it. He'd steep competition between Limerick and all the quality teams that were in the competition. So it's great honour for Alex, and yeah, we're delighted for him and delighted for what we've achieved, thankfully.
Final word, Brian. To go into the Tailteann Cup as favourites in many people's eyes, easier said than done. The quality of opposition is it's very, very high level, and teams are pushing very hard to get silverware. What was the key difference for you guys, do you think, as the year went on?
I think we were probably hell-bent on winning something this year, and obviously the league final didn't go the way we wanted, Leinster, and then you're in the Tailteann Cup, and after we kind of got the heads around that, we completely bought into it, and the players threw everything at it for them a couple of weeks and couple of months that it was in. But there was a real coming together, there was a real effort, and once you get momentum and confidence in any competition, you start beginning to think, geez, we could win this, and I think that happened, and the lads, to be fair, threw the shoulder to the wheel from probably after 1 or 2 games in it and said, we really, really want to win this, and they went after it with everything they had.
Congratulations on a great year, Brian, and thanks for accepting the award on behalf of Alex.
Thanks, Tim.
That's Brian Flanagan, ladies and gentlemen, Kildare Senior Football Manager. My thanks to Tom and to Jarlath as well, ladies and gentlemen. And my thanks to all of the winners in the room tonight, especially those players I trust the microphone in front of. It's never an easy thing to do. Congratulations to all your family and friends, everybody behind the scenes, and everybody who joined us here, both in Croke Park and live on the GAA social media channels as well. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have one final round of applause for our winners all year long? What a brilliant year it was. Just one final thing for me. Thank you so much for watching. Congratulations to all the winners again, all their families and their club mates. I hope you've got a wonderful evening ahead. I hope you've a great what's left of 2025 season ahead with your club and your county. Slán a córdia agus go raibh míle mágad. Slán. Ladies and gentlemen.